Hello and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I will be talking about a solo wish list. I know I've made a lot of wish lists, but this one is for solo, so it's different. I have 8 or 9 survivalists that I will be mentioning who I don't think I've mentioned before on my previous wish list. I wanted to gather up a wide array of survivalists throughout my wish list series, and hopefully casting and production can see these are the individuals that I'm talking about and maybe consider casting them for another season. I know some we have seen pretty recently, some we haven't seen in a while, some you may not have seen at all because they're on a different spinoff, but I wanted to bring attention to them. Also, link below are some surveys. If you want to take them, that's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. Now, I hope that the format in which we are shown the survivalists on season 2, if there is a season 2, is a little bit different and we get to see more highlights as opposed to just jumping around back and forth. Now, the first survivalist I wanted to talk about is Andrew Shade, who has been on 4 challenges in 4 years, I think. I know he also had buddy games during that time, so he's just been doing a lot of reality TV shows. And I know he unfortunately tapped from XL because he nearly chopped off the tip of his thumb, and he felt that he wouldn't really be an asset to the team, and he was also in a lot of pain. So he sadly had to tap, and although that was his 3rd tap from a challenge, a lot of people want to see him come back. And I know that he mentioned that he had been asked to do solo season 1, but he was really worried that he was going to be by himself because he's a very extroverted person and survivalists aren't supposed to be talking to crew members. So he'd basically be having to entertain himself. So he said he would find that very difficult, but I think that this could be the ultimate challenge for Andrew Shade because we've seen him complete the challenge on Castaways, which, he didn't have any survival tools starting out. So all he had was whatever he could scavenge from the location that he was in. And maybe with some items, he would be more set to have a more effective shelter. He wouldn't have to worry as much about fire. He would just mainly have to worry about entertaining himself. But I think that with his personality, he would be able to entertain himself the entire time he's there and find things to do and also entertain the audience by talking to the camera. He has his own handheld camera that he'd use. I know he would probably reach a low point when not really having anyone to interact with, but I think that he has the ability to push through and hopefully make it through the challenge. I think he has the strength to do it. He would need to psychologically build himself up and have methods to dealing with the loneliness, but I really have faith that he could do it. And if not for solo, I think he should come back for another challenge and have that success that we've all been rooting for with him. And a lot of people have been rooting for him, and he's got this, and he's amazing. So we shall see. Next up is Kate, who gets unnecessary hate from a highly edited TV show that came out several years ago. We're about to see Kate again on Last One Standing Season 2, and I think that she deserves a chance at a challenge where she doesn't have to deal with any other personalities. It's just her skills, a camera, and she tries her best. And I think that she has the ability to get her Raja O'Hara redemption storyline. If you don't know, Raja O'Hara is a drag queen on RuPaul's Drag Race. I am not calling Kate a drag queen. I'm just saying she might be able to have a good redemption storyline because Raja on RuPaul's Drag Race season 11 was probably one of the most hated queens of the franchise. But then Raja came back for subsequent seasons and ended up becoming a fan favorite and was much beloved. And I think that Kate has the opportunity to be redeemed in the light of the fans. Not saying that she has anything to redeem, but everyone will see a new side to her and they won't be as mean, and Kate can also show off her skills. Next up, we have Danny J from season 3 of Naked and Afraid and XL1. And Danny unfortunately received the short end of the stick season 1 along with Shane, where basically all her teammates ganged up on her and were very mean to her for no reason. And they said that it was mainly because she was just doing stuff on her own and they didn't really trust her per se. And there was a really mean moment where Alana and Danny B were kind of talking behind her back and saying that she's weird and how Danny was annoyed that there's another Danny, so she should tap. And they were calling her, and they were just being very mean, and they basically bullied her into tapping. And the audience didn't see Danny doing anything egregious that would warrant people being so mean to her. And I think she has the skills and the personality to be entertaining. And it would be great to see her get a redemption and also show her skills and also not be bullied. Next up is a toss up between Tito and Giuliano from Largados y Pelados season 2. I know Renee would also be a good choice, but I talked about him for Excel. Also, Erica and Joao and Camilla and Marina, Enrique, Joe. They're all good choices, but I think that Tito has a really fun personality, and I think that Giuliano, he showed that he can survive solo because on his challenge, his partner tapped on day 2, and then he didn't merge with another group until I think at least a week or more later. So he has the ability to make it through, but Tito would have such a great entertainment value because he has shown to be great on camera, but I don't know if he'd be able to keep up the same upbeat personality if he was solo. But I think that he would be very entertaining to watch and very fun to watch. And Giuliano has a lot of great skills that he could show during the challenge. So it's just a toss up between the two. It would be great to see either, but we shall see. Next up is Lisa from season 11 of Naked and Afraid and XL8. And on XL8, Lisa was unfortunately one of the ones who succumbed to bug bites because they didn't give them bug nets during a very, very bug-filled time in the Amazon rainforest, and they decided to give them nets afterwards, but Lisa had already gone at that point, and she's a very tough individual, and unfortunately her partner Joe tapped on her first challenge, so she had to spend day 11 to day 21 on her own, and she did a great job. It was very tough during her challenge, and it would be great to see her come back and pull a Jamie from XL8 where Jamie did a solo and completed it and got his redemption in. I think Lisa would be a good candidate. She's tough, she's cool, and she has the skills to succeed. Next up, we have Molly. That's right, Molly from Opposites Don't Attract, where she was essentially put with one of the worst survivalists, not the worst, but one of the meanest survivalists in Naked and Afraid history. And she basically tapped from the challenge because he was just so mean to her that her mental health kind of took her out of the challenge. And don't send hate to Nathan, please. His attitude was very rude, and he shouldn't have done that, and hopefully he has apologized to her. If not, then he hopefully will realize what he did wrong. And again, please don't send hate. But Molly deserves so much better, and it would be great to see her come back. I think the producers owe it to her because she does have skills, she does have good ideas, and she didn't get a fair shake the first time. And she's also very popular amongst the fans because of her kind attitude. So it'd be great for her to get a redemption and everyone can cheer her on from afar and not have to worry about someone bringing her down. Next up, we have Jared, who was on the Battle of the Sexes episode that Chini did, and Chini went on to successfully complete a solo challenge and then was on Last One Standing. And Jared, he and Rusty did really well together. And Rusty would also be a good candidate, but I think Jared would also be a good candidate because he's a hunter. And although during his challenge he wasn't able to get a hunt, I don't want to say the certain words like he got an animal, or like I don't know what words I'm allowed to use on YouTube, but he wasn't able to be successful with his bow and arrow. So it'd be great to see him be put in an environment where he is able to hunt more often, but he can, also fish and stuff like that. But it'd be great to see him get that success and, try this type of challenge out, and we can see his Wisconsin personality come out. And although he's from the cold environment, he could probably be put somewhere hot and do fine. But, you never know. Next up, we have Scott, one of my other favorite survivalists, who I think is a little bit underrated because during his fan challenge, his partner tapped day 4 and he spent 10 days by himself. So you already know that he can do a solo challenge and he can be entertaining enough for a whole hour of television dedicated to him. He is very charismatic. And I think with Frank's teachings, we can see some of that in action. And he can really only rely on himself this time. So it would be great to see him go in, take on the challenge, show off the skills that he's learned, and then after this, hopefully go on to Last One Standing because he really wants to go on to Last One Standing. And I think that having one more challenge under his belt will help him fine-tune those Naked and Afraid skills that he could use for Last One Standing after hopefully completing this challenge. And with that, we have the 8 to 9 survivalists that I would personally like to see come back for a solo challenge. We have a variety of personalities. I believe everyone on the list will be able to be entertaining enough to create entertaining television by themselves. I know that Andrew has a difficult task ahead being by himself. Kate has a redemption storyline. Danny and Molly have the being bullied out but coming back and fighting to succeed storyline. Lisa has the coming back from tapping from Excel to hopefully a solo win. And hopefully some of these individuals can be brought back either for solo or for another challenge. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment nice things, and subscribe, and click the next video if it's mine. Thank you again so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay, bye-bye now. Bye-bye.